And we're back to more Kombat Mythologies. Mission objective. Guess what? Collect the 3 icons representing the elements of fire. Never did that before in this game, have we?
Well, we didn't for the element of fire.
Yes, same thing, different name, Teo. Same thing, different name.
So, how about that Mortal Kombat movie?
It's looking interesting, I'll admit.
It's to disagree, the trailer did not convince me.
Is it out already?
The first trailer, yes.
We also have the worst use of the iconic "Get Over Here" line I've ever heard. Like, well, okay, fine. It's not as bad as the Friends of the Realm, I guess. To be fair, but it's
time.
No. Well, remember too the way Scorpion says it in Friends of the Realm. Get over here. Like, it's so bad.
I guess for me, the movie trailer didn't seem bad or anything. I thought it looked fine overall.
They get a couple of things right, Jova, like some designs of the special effects for the powers, for example. But it feels like the movie is taking itself way too seriously for its own good, and the lack of Johnny Cage is very noticeable.
Yeah.
I do wonder if they're saving him or something.
Just get the Miz to play him.
It's not in the casting, Joe, because you're wondering. So unless it's like a post-credit scene, we're probably not gonna see it.
Oh, so now you grab ledges, Sub-Zero. Why didn't you grab ledges in the previous level?
It's super selective.
To go into because it's related to it. Sub-Zero. They said that Sub-Zero is the main antagonist of it.
So is Scorpion the main
even though
as usual, Scorpion gets to be the pet.
I get that, but it's the first tournament. Shouldn't Shang Tsung be somewhere in there?
Well,
he'll most likely be in it, but it's mostly Sub-Zero antagonizing everybody.
I think I can get what they mean though. If it's sort of like Scorpion's revenge, my guess what they mean by that is it'll mainly be from Scorpion's perspective. So of course, in that case, Sub-Zero would be the main antagonist. I mean, sure, there'll probably be the other stuff going on here and there, but if it's focusing on Scorpion mainly, yeah, I can see why Sub-Zero would be considered the main antagonist.
It's more like, okay, they said that Shao Kahn is going to be the Thanos of this series, as it will gradually build up to him.
Shinnok should be that. If you're gonna
not just that, I get what they mean, but I seriously would hope that people will stop using the MCU as a media.
I know.
It's like Sonic is the next, Iron Man for some reason.
Oh yeah, because he might kick off a new video game movie soon.
So you'll have one decent first movie, then the sequels will go downhill.
God, I hope he doesn't.
I'm not reaching the ledge of that joke, that even though I understand it. But the point is that, you can just determine the quality of a movie and compare it to something else other than the MCU.
Anyway,
I'm kind of annoyed how people always refer to it like it's some flawless thing that we need to compare everything to. But anyway, Pedro, back to what you were talking about.
The Fire Temple is mercifully not as frustrating as the Water Temple, or the Sewers
Those
Temple.
Are traps, Jova.
Because because the floor.
Choose which levels you go to, or no?
No. You just go from it's linear. You just go from level to level as the story dictates. There's no actual. Not that it matters, but yes, Dibs.
Are we gonna get another one of those falling down FMVs?
Well,
in this part.
No, I've already shown it.
They're funny.
They are funny.
I like one of the few bits of genuine enjoyment I get from this game so far.
Drips, I trust me. I get you. I do. But at the same time, if I showed you every single time that I fall, this playthrough will be 5 hours long.
It'll be like BSC's Crash 4 playthrough where Lewis doesn't edit out his deaths.
Hashtag shameless plug.
So it would be like it where there'll be no edits for the deaths. They bang on about the same thing every single part, every chance they get.
Anyway, yeah. One problem that I do have with the Fire Temple is that there's no distinct difference in the level geometry. By that I mean, you're literally just going for the exact same structures over and over and over. They
It just looks different slightly.
like they just looks yeah, like Dweb said, slightly different, and as a result it can be very easy to lose track of your progress in this level.
Is this I can't remember, did they present, is this game story presented as like a lost book or something?
No, like I've told you before, Dwebs, this story, despite promoting itself as an origin story for Sub-Zero, doesn't really tell us anything we don't already know. So
Yeah, no, I mean, so yeah, I mean, could you imagine someone trying to adapt this into a book? The book could be like 3 pages
A
long.
novelization? Let me
His
see if there
name
actually was one.
His name, there was a man. his name was
Dwebs, if you really
Sub-Zero.
think that
He went
if a
through exactly the
novelization-
same buildings over and over.
Dwebs,
We
if
learned nothing about
that's
his
how you
origin
think
story
a
in the end.
novelization
What?
would be like, you have a limited imagination. I'm sorry.
Alright.
I was still going through the example, but basically it'll just be nothing but Sub-Zero
say
was a
that.
man. He fell from grace and he went through the same buildings over and over.
alright.
Wait, beg your pardon, Joe?
How exciting!
Yeah, basically. Here's what this story tells us, Dwebs. Sub-Zero is Scorpion's rival. Okay, we learned that from the first game, so that was redundant. What else did they tell us? He's part of the Link Way. Okay, we already learned that in game 2, so no need for this. What else?
He wears blue.
We already learned that.
Oh, wait,
Double-
hold on. Oh, but guys, this new clown guy, he'll be
Oh,
important.
I
to
get,
the,
I get it. In this part, we're gonna meet Raiden. So he did meet Raiden before the first game. Not that that leads into anything and is useless information, but
No, the only major
like I
important
said-
thing is a giant glorified commercial for Mortal Kombat 4.
Yeah, pretty much with the introduction of a new character.
yeah,
And yes, by the way, the fire elemental is essentially a poly swap of Raiden. He even has his same battle cries. Habirubare!
yeah, basically.
Don't you see? It turns out Raiden is the lightning variant of these guys.
No, really, I don't know.
Yeah, the entire thing is, again, yeah, like Taylor said, they introduced Shinnok and Quan Chi via this game, but you didn't need a full game to do this. You could just introduce them from Mortal Kombat 4. Like, seriously, it didn't even tell us anything about Quan Chi and Shinnok in this game. They're just kind of dicks that show up and antagonize Sub-Zero for no apparent reason.
Smug towards the camera.
Okay. Let's see.
I love this.
Yeah, the bosses are probably one of the most tolerable thing, just because they're at the very least fun in terms of how silly they
Well,
are.
again, Fujin's cheap trick at the very end was a bit dickish.
Oh, that was. Oh, speaking of Raiden, there you go.
What the fuck are you doing, Sub-Zero?
Well, remember, that's John Turk, the guy that played Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3. So,
I know, it's
Wait,
just
really?
that, it's more like Raiden chastising him.
Why does he look CG there?
it's the bad green screen, most likely.
Nope.
Shank. Also, did someone British took over?
Yeah, I guess.
This 360 shot, why? Why do we have a 360 shot?
Wee!
Spin the camera, spin, damn you.
You see, it's to build tension and see how twisted
It's not. The only thing that's building up that is a fucking vomit throw from me. This is nausea-inducing.
I love
You
how
have to
this
suspend your
360.
disbelief.
I think I get one 360 shot, but like 3 or 4.
Oh my god, his face is terrifying.
Ignoring that and focusing on this thing, I love how this implies that Quan Chi literally could have just gotten the elementals all on his own here.
Pretty
It's
much.
just
He was literally too lazy.
It's like this game. It's like this game was a waste of my time or something.
And Sub-Zero sad.
Maybe Quan Chi is just he wants Bihan to go on the path of darkness and slaughter everybody.
Oh, here you go.
You done screwed up, son.
That's actually basically what this conversation amounts to, Jova. Actually,
Raiden doesn't really do much anything. He just does a pep talk to Sub-Zero and then sends him to the Netherrealm.
I love how Sub-Zero was literally just walking away sad, his head hung in shame.
Down and everything.
Because we're going to the Netherrealm, and we're going to bring back the amulet. We must
Oh, we're going to the Netherrealm, alright. It's what our studio will be called after we're purchased by Warner Brothers.
I mean, if the alternative is bankruptcy, might as well.
Only because I don't have a choice.
Then stand back.
So, why... So, Raiden, here's the question. Why does it have to be Sub-Zero? I mean, you already pretty much went out about how he screwed up everything, so...
You literally, at this point, Raiden, you literally have a Shaolin monk that is obeying you every single command and he worships you like the god that you are in the form of Liu Kang. Send him to do this shit.
Yeah.
I wonder how long did it take to record these scenes?
I don't know.
It might have taken a while because one thing that we can unlock is a blooper reel, so they had to do multiple takes.
Oh well, because I mean, a lot of what's in the game does actually feel like that's like the very first take, and that was it.
No, Dibs. These were the final takes. There were previous
The
takes.
best ones.
These were the best takes, Dibs. Just think about that for a moment.
It's like that line from Mr. Burns. We did 20 takes, and that was the best.
I love how the game had to pause to load.
So am I allowed to pull a Jova right now?
Go ahead.
In what way?
To be more optimistic.
Go ahead.
What?
So, ideally, a Mortal Kombat origin story of Sub-Zero isn't a bad idea. Like, yes, you can elaborate more on his backstory. Like, okay, what was his relationship with... What's his younger brother's name?
Kuai Liang. Liang. Just the young Kuai Liang. Mr. Liang. Let's go with that. Oh, Steve Blum. He's played by Steve Blum. So, go ahead.
Much.
As like, okay, how... Because again, it's like, what exactly led him to this path of darkness? Because we know that he's not really a good person.
No, it's his brother. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, it can work.
Oh, of course.
It's just everything is not well executed.
No, that's exactly. I know. I completely agree with you there, Deji. It's just that, like I've said, this for a quote-unquote origin story, it doesn't really tell us anything we don't already know. If anything, I feel, not to mention, while it is a good idea, it still wouldn't have been my first choice. My first choice would be to tell an origin story of the great Kung Lao, aka current Kung Lao's ancestor, who in his entire franchise has only been mentioned in throwaway lines. We've never actually learned why he was, like, the closest we've had was in Kung Lao's ending in Mortal Kombat 4, where where the current gen Kung Lao and Goro finally talk about their past, where Goro was the one that killed the great Kung Lao, and they make amends, and and basically they both take peace. Like your ancestor was a great fighter. And blah blah. So basically, they at the very least do that. But I still think we could have had some kind of backstory through an origin story.
Oh yes.
Why exactly is this Kung Lao called the Great Kung Lao? What made him great? Can we see that?
I can understand their logic in going with a more familiar character just to play it safe for the time being.
Oh, okay.
I do get Deja's point though.
Is that Sir Daniel Fataskoy from?
All right, that was actually scripted. I was meant to be captured.
Yeah.
Great Mora.
Yep. It's time to meet our main villain.
The villain of Mortal Kombat 4 here as a cameo, Shinnok. and he looks terrible.
You can literally see the black lines, but try to make him look like a comic book character.
He's not even voiced by Troy Baker. What is this shit?
Well, I mean, Troy Baker at this point.
Dwarves don't ruin the joke.
that's wait till you hear him in Mortal Kombat 4. Like,
Also, Shinnok in this game looks, every time he looks at Sub-Zero, he looks like a concerned parent, but they saw his son returning home at 2 a.m. drunk or something.
that's what this whole game feels like, Teo. It feels like Sub-Zero is just a kid getting into mischief and getting told off by the adults.
Oh boy, are we getting out of the line? Actually, no, alright.
No.
But yeah,
Yes,
later.
that's in the Scorpion version of this scene. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
Going back to what Dej was saying, though, yeah, I totally get it, though. It's like, well, this sort of thing definitely had potential here. It just had the worst of circumstances attached to it. A gameplay style that didn't make any sense. The wrong team overall working on this, while, the better team were working on Mortal Kombat 4.
Yep.
And just everything that could go wrong went horribly wrong, except for the character actors. Given the time, they feel like they're trying.
They were given a terrible script and most likely terrible direction, so I guess
What year was this? Did this come out?
97.
Yeah,
So,
it was. This was before the PS2 era. It was the time where voice acting in video games and acting in video games weren't good at all.
So here's what
I mean, there were a couple of PS1 games that had good voice acting.
The first Metal Gear Solid, but go
that
on.
was-
Yeah, that's like the one exception because the guy who made it is a guy who treats video games as movies.
Not just that, Deji. I would argue that
Anyway,
the Naughty Dog Crash Bandicoot games had good voice acting.
Yeah,
Especially
those Spyro games did, for the most part.
Anyway,
I mean, it's not Shakespearean acting or anything, but it's perfectly
Anyway.
fine.
This is when it was still getting at its footing.
Sure.
Like,
Anyway.
Go ahead, Jova. Go ahead.
Go on.
Anyway, back to my point though, it's like, well, the weird thing about this game is like, well, this game has a weird characterization with Sub-Zero. Like, 1 minute they have him as like this supposedly honor-bound ninja. Other times they say he's not a ninja, but let's ignore that.
Yeah.
Then there are the times where he's like, oh, even though I succeeded in my mission, it was all for naught because the guy who hired me could have just gotten it himself. Like,
Okay.
I mean, mission pretty much accomplished. I don't even get why he's all that sad about it, but
Oh.
whatever. Until then, Raiden comes in and tells him, okay, now you messed up. Now you have to go save the day. And he's
You
like,
have to fix
yeah, I
this
guess
shit,
I
though."
don't have a choice on whatnot.
I
It's
do.
like,
There you go, Dibs. You want it? There you go.
here's the major issue with this game. For a game that's supposed to be about Sub-Zero, they don't seem to get what they want to do with Sub-Zero in this game. Like, okay, for as much as I hate X-Men Origins Wolverine, at least it seemed like they knew what they wanted to do with Wolverine. It was
You sure
terrible,
about
mind you.
that?
It was, like I said, it was terrible what they wanted to do, mind you, but at least it felt like they knew. Here, it just feels like they don't.
Oh, guys,
I can't agree with you on that front.
remember
Yes, with the...
I asked earlier how long did it take to do these scenes, and I found the answer to that.
Go ahead.
The actual shooting took a week,
Wow.
and the entire process itself, from recording
Oh,
to doing the post-production work, took a month.
these sound effects are so beautiful.
Tio, stop punching him in the crotch.
Seriously, this is almost as bad as a Mega Man X7, where it was burn to the ground, burn to the ground, burn.
No,
It
X7 is still worse. I'm sorry.
It is.
Well,
far
I did
worse.
say almost as bad. I didn't say it was worse.
To answer Jova, I do love it when a game not only blatantly wastes my time, but literally out loud admits to me in my face that I've just been going for a wild goose chase for like half the game.
Like, seriously, what is Quinch's deal in this game, really? I mean, sure, yeah, he's here to look cool and all, but he literally could have just done it himself with ease, mind you. It's not like it was even tough. No. He pretty much states he could have done it with ease.
Also,
I mean,
this music
otherwise
starts to Pygon.
I mean, otherwise he could have literally just waited until Sub-Zero brought the damn thing back to the palace or whatever. But
You want to hear about
he just got impatient.
You want to hear about the best thing about this this level? You know how I've been going up and down in elevators? Here's how you activate the elevators. You have to hold a specific selection of buttons that the game never at any point conveys to you. And before you ask, no, it's not in the instruction manual. So basically, if you were a kid in 1997 with no internet, even with your manual, you wouldn't be able to tell how the hell these elevators bloody work, because the game doesn't tell you.
Because you're supposed to figure it out, Pedro.
Of course.
Come on. You're supposed to be a real gamer. That's how it was back in the 90s. Sorry, hold on. I got a phone call.
Also, this music starts to remind me a lot of Toxic Waste from the first Crash Bandicoot.
No, I'm serious. Basically, you hold L1, R2, and triangle, and then you press up or down. It's incredibly specific. It's incredibly specific. And like I said, the game doesn't. What was wrong with just pressing just
up or down?
Okay. Well, up is jump, so I can understand why you can't just press.
Holding like the R2 button or something.
Something along those lines. No, they go for a very specific group of 4 buttons that you would have no way of knowing unless you just start pressing buttons at random and just pray and hope it works, basically.
I've got another question actually. Apparently, the Tekken series a few years after this tried something like this game, where it was a spin-off based on one character.
Oh, Death by Degrees on the PS2.
Was that any better or worse than this?
I haven't tried it personally, but I haven't heard much positive things about it. So, fun fact,
Have you heard bad stuff about it?
Not really. It seems that it's mostly forgotten, so I don't really know what to tell. But if I recall correctly, Hideo Baba might have worked on the game. I think, or it was someone important at Banco. We'll search in the meantime. It was either Hideo Baba or Katsuhiro Arada.
This level basically amounts to you just going around, searching for the items all across this temple. And you need the keys to activate the elevators, meaning just keep exploring, and then as you can see, and there's a lot of elevators right at the beginning that you can't use until you have the correct key. So basically, this level involves a shit ton of backtracking.
Of course.
Fun.
There you go, and here's another item. There you
Up we go.
And there you go.
I like how you gotta love how some of the items literally take moments just for you to collect them for some weird reason.
That's because, Jova, I'm cutting out a lot of failure footage that you're not seeing.
Oh, okay. In that case, that's not so much the game. That's just you finding convenient times to
Jump cut.
repost. But yeah, jump cut.
Just so that this playthrough doesn't go on for 5 hours.
Let me guess, a lot of it is falling, isn't it?
Not just falling, dying in general. Because this game is terribly designed and cheap as hell.
So is the crushing animation any good?
No, it's just his blood and organs splatter all over the floor. Typical Mortal Kombat
shit. You don't get
shit.
an FMV on that, Jova. Also, yes, I was right. Hideo Baba is listed as one of the main producer and game designers of Death by Degrees.
So there you go. You can bring down Shinnok's statue. Okay, FMV.
Yep. Yeah, apparently the Neverrealm has a lot of robots in this. Also, these 3 characters.
Oh, look who it is. Well, one of them shows up in 10 though too.
Yep. Surprising enough.
It's a little cameo for the older fans.
Ed Boon actually has a bit of a sense of humor and keeps referencing both this and Roof Special Forces. So there's that.
Which is interesting because he didn't work on this game, did he?
No, it was John Tobias who was the project leader of this.
Use a moving chair.
Sir, a mortal has escaped.
Also, that sound quality. Mwah! That's beautiful.
And sir, could you honestly have made a walkway that wasn't as dangerous as this? Seriously, it's only one narrow walkway.
Those
Who the hell is that?
That's a character that actually will cameo in Mortal Kombat 10, actually.
Can you seriously not afford a railing?
Look, those who are weak fall over. Those who are strong keep their balance.
Also,
But
I
what
find
if
it
you're
more.
drunk or you just woken out of bed or something?
Also, I find it more hilarious that over the years, Quan Chi starts losing a piece of clothing more and more. He starts like this.
Yes,
All
basically.
right, then.
It's like the world's slowest striptease.
It's like, no. That's the thing. I also love that the way you win that level. You can kick down Shinnok statue, but only if you happen to have that urn that I collected at the end. Why?
Don't you see the urn gives Sub-Zero special kicking powers?
Yeah,
Of course.
that's kind of what the item description says. It says that it gives you strength, but it's so arbitrary. It's literally
It really feels like arbitrary.
it's literally the most flimsy excuse you can have to make you go fetch an item.
You know. Why stop at that? This urn can give you special kicking powers. This lamp can give you laser vision. This book can give you super duper jumping abilities. This sofa can give you the ability to see through time.
When I think Mortal Kombat, I don't think stupid fetch quests. I don't.
But they did it. Lord knows they did it. And look at what they've created.
An abomination. See you for the next part where we
Alright.
put this abomination to rest. See ya.
See ya.